Hi, my name is Caitlin. To be a culturally competent teacher is to recognize the differences in our students, respect and accept that every student is going to be different and is going to come from a different culture, a different background, a different socioeconomic status, and be conscious about my interactions with my students and with their families. On the cultural competency continuum chart, I see myself as being at cultural pre-competence. I'm committed to learning how to best embrace and teach a diverse group of students in an environment where students feel safe and accepted. I'm formulating this plan and building the skills and understanding it will take to become culturally competent. I understand that there is an achievement gap and how this achievement gap greatly affects minorities whose communities might have limited resources or little community outreach. I also believe that all students from every background, from every culture, from every socioeconomic status deserves to have a safe educational environment where they are accepted, where they are supported, and where they feel comfortable and free to be their full, authentic selves. To get to the next step of the cultural competence will require a conscious and consistent reflection on my part of my personal bias and identifying ways that I can minimize them as much as possible. Part of my commitment as an educator is to be a lifelong learner, which would include seeking knowledge about other cultures, most of all the cultures of my students and their families. I can do this through research and communication with my students and their families. Getting to know families and students is an important way to build relationships. So my students trust me as well as their parents, and they trust that they're coming to a safe place. What are some specific trainings that I might use to further my cultural competence as an educator or through the National Education Association of Professional Development? They offer professional development such as implicit bias and stereotypes. New York State also has New York State Works for Children, or New York Works for Children, where I can locate and take professional development on building cultural competency and supporting diversity in my classroom. In my future classroom, culture and inclusivity will look like having respectful and honest communication between my students and between my students and myself. I will advocate to have culture and inclusivity in the school and in the community. I will encourage students and their families to share culture with the school and with the class through having them come to school and share a tradition through a story, through a presentation, however the family and the student chooses. I will ensure that I am respecting students as individuals with differing personal backgrounds and various skills, abilities, and perspectives. I'll do this by being mindful of my personal bias, and I will again continue to reflect and make a consistent effort to minimize those implicit bias. I will encourage them to be proud of their skills and abilities and their talents, and they're interested, and I will show interest in their skills and their abilities and their talents. Through my actions and my conscious efforts, I will show my students that our classroom is a safe place and that the expectation, again, is that everyone will be treated with respect. We can have different spiritual beliefs, we can have different moral values, and at the same time, we can show respect to each other and we can value each other's differences and we can celebrate each other. Thank you.